All right, so good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here again. All right, so today is our business, real estate business class, and today is fully gonna be a live section. Yeah, it's fully gonna be a live section, and I know we are really going to learn a lot. All right, so come on. If today is your first time of joining us, come on, you can stay put, all right, because today we are really going to be learning something very, very important. All right, okay, okay, all right. So last week we learned something very important, all right, as it pertains to the best place to invest. Yes. So we started it last week. The best place, how to know. The topic was how to know the best place to invest your money for high return of investment. How to know the best place to invest your money. So this this is basically for our investors, all right, family and friends, people who are um, in Nigeria or probably who are in diaspora who wants to invest. All right, so because we have a lot of people who um, are fortunate enough to um, have resources and they want to invest in Nigeria in some localities. So, what are the things to look out for? So, this is for you to know the things to look out for before putting your money there. Because, like I said last week, one very important factor why you want to invest in real estate is because you want return on investment. No investors wants to put his money somewhere and at the long run not doesn't want a return, right? So every investor wants to put in money somewhere and have a result, have a dividend after which. Now, the truth is, there are places you invest your money and you will find out that it's going to really take time before you get your money back. In fact, there are locations where you put in your money and after 5 to 10 years, there is no much return in investment on what you've put in. All right, so these are things you should look out for. Probably um, you might want to purchase a property tomorrow in the nearest future. So take note of these things we're going to be talking about. So first of all, last week I mentioned about few of them. All right. So today I'm going to continue from that. So for those who didn't join us last week, let me just do a brief recap. So number one thing you need to look out for as an investor before you put in your money or before you make your transfer to purchase that property is one, good road network. I talked about it last week. Good road network is one of the things to be emphasized. All right. So before you purchase that property, find out, is there road leading to that place? I mean, the road network, how is it like? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it moderate? It's one of the things you need to look out for before you buy that property. Good road network is very important. Then number two I talked about last week was ongoing infrastructure development. Ongoing infrastructure development. You need to find out whether in that environment you are, is there, or that environment they are showing you, are there development about to pop up? All right? Are there things in the environment that shows that something is coming up? All right? Probably you might see that okay, there is road, the road network is very much accessible, but you are also seeing that that there are some other things ongoing there. All right. So number two, that is that. If you want to know more, come on, you can go to our previous video and yes. You can check that and you would know more. All right. So number three things I talked about, which I really emphasize on this number 3 point, that you need to be sensitive about it. Number three is growing population. That environment you want to purchase a property, is there a growing population there? Are you getting what I'm saying? Is there a growing population? Are people moving towards that location? Are you getting it? Yeah, because that one thing is a huge sign that tells you buy this place. Because shortly from that time you have bought that place, development is going to be massive. And guess what? Development is one of the things that increase your return on investment. Are you getting it? So if you are buying a property in a bush, all right, the way development would come would depend on the growing population. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. If the environment is if there are a lot of people there, the population is massive. Shortly from that time, you will see that that bush you bought will soon become a city, and your return on investment will be massive. So, number four things I talked about was proximity to commercial center. You know, when I'm talking about proximity, I talked about market. Are there markets around that particular property you want to buy? All right. So many a time we see realtors that say, this place is good, this place is good. And guess what? People tend to just believe them and paying for that property. Now, in as much that this realtor, this person, this agent wants to sell to you, you also need to do your due diligence. So all of these things I'm mentioning are due diligence you have to do. You have to check it by yourself. All right. So after the person have shown you the location, you need to go there by yourself and check the environment. All right. Are there commercial places around? What is the proximity? Is it 20 minutes to the land? Is it 30 minutes? How booming it is? Because these are factors that will let you know, okay, development is coming here rapidly. Because another thing you must come to understand is that the best time to buy a land is not when development is 100%. That is the truth. As an investor, you need to have the eye of a seer. So you need to see upward. All right. So what it means is that the best time to buy a property in a location is when that location is probably 10% in development. Because when that is done, your entry point is low and you will have more return on investment in a few years, sometimes even months. All right. So let's continue from there. Number five things you need to look out for. I told you I'm going to be mentioning about 12 tips that are very, very important. Don't joke with those 5 things, 12 things I'm going to mention. So I'm at number 5 now. All right. So number 5 thing, which I wrote here, note if there are phrases of schools or universities. Yes. Note whether there are presence of schools or universities, because most of the times educational institution has a way to attract people. Yes, education institution has a way to attract people. What I mean is that it's going to be attracting students, it's going to be attracting staffs, it's going to be attracting a lot of people. So if you are buying a property and you see that there is an institution, whether a secondary school, a primary school, or a tertiary institution, in fact, if there's a tertiary institution there, it just shows that in a shorter time, there's going to be a big boom. Are you getting what I'm saying? So take note of this thing. Are there educational institution around that vicinity where you want to buy? Are there schools around? What is the proximity to where the property is located? If all of these are checked, believe me, you will have a property that you can bank on, a property where you can invest your money, and in the space of 2, 3, 4 years, you have about 500% on investment. Very true. So let's go to the next. Number 6 things you need not to neglect is to look out for this. Number 6, are there access to healthcare facility? Are there access to healthcare facilities? Now, what I mean is that are there hospitals? Are there medical centers around that particular vicinity where you want to buy? Are there hospitals? There's a massive property, there's an asset we have in the city of Owerri around the Futo Junction, all right? This property is strategically located. Now, the reason why I mentioned this property is because of this thing I just mentioned, medical and healthcare access. Now, this property is directly opposite the healthcare center of that particular community. So that kind of environment is suitable to buy. In fact, the best time to buy is now. And guess what? That property I'm talking about is being sold for just 3 million. 3 million per plot. 3 million per plot. In fact, this is just the launching price, because shortly from now, a plot in that particular vicinity would be 5 million at Futo Junction. Very sweet location. Directly opposite the General Hospital. Precisely Umonkane Hospital. So these are places you look out for, and they are good. So when you see such location, don't just think twice. I've mentioned about 6 already. When you see such signs in those locations, don't think twice. Put in your money there. You are about 80% sure that if you put your money there, there's going to be a great dividend for you. Very true. I get what I'm saying. So be very intentional with those locations I'm mentioning, healthcare facilities. Because one of the things that will happen if there's a healthcare facility in an environment, that would motivate people to venture into that place. Because a lot of people are relocating from the city, probably where you are, they are moving from this because the city is oversaturated. As for context, Owerri, the city, the Owerri municipal is oversaturated, and people are tending to move towards those kind of locations. So if there are medical center in that particular environment you have been proposed to buy, come on, buy it, because shortly from now, there's going to be a move of people in that particular location. Are you getting what I'm saying? Very, very important. Then number 7, number 17 I'm going to mention, which is also very important, is how affordable is the entry price. Are you with me? Yeah. How affordable is the entry price? So I hope you see in the order of things, I did not mention how affordable the price is first, because the price shouldn't be one of the first reasons why you are purchasing a property. No, not the price first. So all of these things are important. Then also the entry price is important. For example, you see a location that has healthcare and medical care facilities around the place where you want to buy, and they tell you is probably less than 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. That is amazing. That is amazing. In fact, that property is hotcake, because shortly from that point, you will see that that property will be worth over 5 to 6 to 7 million as it goes by. So be very intentional by that. So I hope you remember number 7 I'm talking about is entry price. Entry price. How much is the property being sold to you? How much is it? All right. So you must take note of that. All right. some of you who are looking for properties that are not very much expensive, I mean properties of 1 million, 2 million, all right, so you can look out for that. So if the price is moderate, you can invest. If the price is moderate, my huge advice is going to that very fast. Putting your money, locking your money into that, all right? Because it's going to be a very huge investment. Yes, it's going to be a very huge investment. And guess what? Let me tell you something. The best place to invest are places like that who have little development. Places of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million are places you can get, and in a very short period of time, you get your due dividends. Yes. That is why I would say real estate is one of the best way to build generational wealth. Yes, it's one of the best way. And guys, why I say it's one of the best way, because it's not affected by inflation. It's not affected by your country. In fact, as a case study, every year by year, properties increase. No matter how much you have bought that property, the property will increase. And I'm beginning to find this not funny, because I've noticed that properties in our villages, all right? If you check your village now and go in the quiet, properties in your village are becoming much more expensive than properties in the city. That's crazy. That's crazy, because you hear some people saying, there's no more land and all of that. So the best time to buy is now. Buy it, hold it for a period of time, and resell it and make your dividends. Yes, I've had people who bought properties for 400,000 back then. 400,000, and guess what? Just a year or 2 years after, they sold that particular property for over 4 million. That's crazy. That's crazy. I've seen some other person bought a property for, yes, this one just happened. Bought a property for, I think, 6 million. Yes, 6 million in an environment that was, about to develop, I could just say 50% developed. All right. And guess what? In the space of 9 months, that particular place was sold for 14 million. That's crazy. That's it. So you must look out for those things I mentioned, those 7 things I mentioned, and I am so sure that you are not going to make mistakes as it comes to investment. All right. So number 18 I'm going to talk about is look out for government interest area. Yes, government interest area. So what do I mean by government interest area? What I mean is that, is the government interested in that particular locality? Now, mind you, this thing I'm talking about, if you are in Nigeria, is valid for you. If you are in Africa, in any nation of the world, yes, in any nation of the world, you can take this and it's valid 100%. So if the government has interest in that location, come on, go for that. Go for that. Because sooner or later, that place will become a gold mine. Yes. So these are some things you need to do. It's called due diligence. You need to find out some of these things. And after finding out, come on, if you can tick, I've mentioned about 8 of them. If you can tick about 6 in this 8, go for it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Now, the reason why some of these things needs to be talked about is so that we can help people. We can help people who have goodwill of going into investment in real estate. All right. So come on, if you are just watching this and you know somebody who is interested, who have been longing to invest in real estate, but does not really know the right way to go about it, all right, come on. If you are coming across this video, share this video to the person. Yes, share it. Most especially if that person is in Nigeria, all right. If it's in Nigeria, share to the person. If the person is also in diaspora, come on, share to the person so that he or she can be enlightened on what to do, on the best place to invest. More so, you also need to know this. If the person is not in Nigeria, if he's in diaspora, please ensure you send a representative. And so you send somebody who can go shake the environment and be sure that that particular place has these 8 criteria I just mentioned. There are more. I told you I was going to drop about 12 of it. So I've dropped already 8. And for the remaining 4, I'm going to drop it by next week. All right? I'm going to drop it by next week. But first of all, I want you to know this. One of the best things you can do for yourself today is investing that money you have. You know, many times people would feel, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough capital. I don't have plenty this and that. How do I go into real estate? And the little money I have, let me use it and solve the problem I have now. You know, the 1 million I have, the 500,000 I have, and let me use it and solve this problem. Later, I will buy. Later, I will buy. Now, let me tell you something. The greatest regret people have had in life is later I will buy. The greatest regret people have had today is procrastination. Let me tell you the gospel truth. There is no best time to buy a property. Now, let me shock you. There is no best time you're going to have that huge money in your account and that money will just be for investment. No, because there will always be issue. There will always be challenge. A young person, I think there was someone that said that just made a statement. Take it personal. You must take it personal. So you must take it personal. Be intentional with that. And I am sure that there's going to be great dividends. All right. So I remain right honorable scientist Ben. And come on, we have our companies in Owerri. We also have a company in Aba. We have location. We have estates in those cities. And guess what? You can also purchase a property with us. So what do I mean? You know, before you buy a property, you must have got money. But no, we have a new system. And currently we're on the campaign, and the campaign aims at getting about 3,000 families who would be able to have at least 10 plots of land. So the campaign is one family, 10 plots of land. Come on, you can join that campaign. And all you need to join this is, first of all, be a visionary, be somebody who wants to have a property before the end of this year. Then also start it with as little as 50 or 100,000. Yes, with 50 or 100,000. In fact, it's shocking that in a flyer we wrote 10,000. Yes. If you're a student, whether you're a student, you are a, an entrepreneur, you are working, whoever you are, you can earn a profit as easy as that. You get what I'm saying? So with just that little amount, you can contact us and we'll book for an inspection, free inspection, and you see the side. When you are good with that, come on, you get that, you secure that with as little as 50,000, and you have yourself a property. All right. Thank you for joining us on this live section. I love you and see you again next week for another amazing business class. I love you. See you. Please ensure you share this